All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp, has actually been very volatile today, to the point that it broke through support, brought itself back up, hit newer lows here of about 1526, 1530, bounced back up, broke through resistance, and is fighting to stay above it. Right now, it's holding itself up pretty well. It's at 1575, and yesterday's resistance leading into today was 1570. So we want to watch this carefully. We want to see how this continues to react. We want to see what's going on. Thank you guys for those of you that have taken the time to contribute your thoughts on Hyliion and how you feel about it. And I'm going to ask questions again today to you guys. And how do you guys feel about this? Because as I pull up the MACD, you guys are going to see here what the MACD is showing us. But how do you truly feel about this one? So the MACD is showing that we're getting closer to the midway point, and there has been a slight pullback from that low, and that's why we're seeing this type of movement. But things have leveled off here. So if the light green continues and it continues to get dimmer and dimmer closer to the midway point, and this blue and orange line starts to actually curve back downwards, we're going to have to watch this carefully. And that's going to be something that is going to indicate to us that this is kind of going to have some trouble to work its way back up to newer highs. I mean, one of the biggest things I feel, and I look forward to seeing what you guys think, is the product and revenue. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like, forget about investors and, sentiment and everything. I think, all that ties up to it. But the main thing before worrying about investor sentiment and the chart itself is revenue and the product, the delivery of the product. That's one of the biggest things, because the innovation is pretty big deal, and it's pretty innovative, right? There's no other way to say it. Innovative is like the short way to just kind of say how big it is, right? It's new, it's changing, and it's going to, make a new process of things, right? But I haven't seen them deliver the product. Revenue isn't being shown yet. I think those are the two major things that this stock needs before any sentiment changes of being a little pessimistic about the chart and the stock overall in the company. I saw yesterday in one of the comments down below how someone stated Nikola is trading higher than Hyliion. Well, Hyliion has had a lot of things pulling it down lately, and Nikola, I guess either investors are taking advantage of the price and, buying in, and there's some room for it to grow. And then things have cooled off with all the negative, feedback on Nikola, and it's just been moving upwards. And Hyliion's just hitting newer lows. It's having a lot of trouble moving up. Now, when you look at analyst ratings, this is at a discount. The thing is that, investor sentiment is not that great right now in this stock. And it has to do with those two things: delivery of the product and revenue. Even Workhorse fell and it's pulled back. And interesting enough, stay to the end of this video so I can tell you guys who's been buying Workhorse as it's gone down and even on its way back up now in the 20s. Stay tuned for that. So here we are with Hyliion's new resistance level and new support levels. Let's get these to the T here. We're going to get this pretty narrow, and then we want to talk about it a little bit broader. So the most important resistance level, if all of this gets broken through and it ends up back in bullish territory right now, is 1650. I want you guys to write that down. That's the high before getting into bearish territory and this bearish run. The lowest point reached in the bearish candlesticks is 1530. We were watching 1537 before, 1534, give or take in that area. Now 1530 is the new low. We need to watch it very carefully. Now, our support here is 1565. If that gets broken through, we're going to move further away from the 50-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average is 1601. I'd write that down. Very important number to keep in mind and watch, because as long as we're below it, we're in bearish territory. The moment we're above it, we're in bullish territory. So 1601. But 1565 is our support. If it gets broken through, we need to watch how this is behaving between 1565 and 1530. And if the bulls are trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing this one down. We're currently at 1575, and we need to watch how this stock is behaving as it gets closer or breaks through the support level. Now, resistance is 1591. I want every single investor to be aware of the fact that 1591 needs to be broken through, but does not signify that the bulls have gained control. This is just an indicator for us investors to know that the momentum is working its way up and that the bulls are getting one step closer to the 50-day moving average to then end up in bullish territory. I want every single investor to be aware of that. Now, 1591 does need to be broken through and turn into a support, but I do want to emphasize it does not guarantee that the bulls are going back into bullish territory. It's just an indicator, and if the bulls can go ahead and use it as support, they can start to reach newer highs, new resistance levels, and in turn break through the 50-day moving average and get back into bullish territory. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share those with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. So the stock that has been bought by ARK Invest, right, has been workhorse out of this whole sector and all these stocks that were hyped at around the same time last year. Workhorse has been growing in ARK Invest ETF. Interesting enough. Now, Nikola has been rising and Hyliion has been falling, and a lot of people were feeling much more positive about Hyliion and their innovation, which makes sense, but they need to deliver the product and they need to start building some revenue and some orders to get Hyliion rolling, because the investor sentiment is not that great because of those two things. Those are not the only two things, but one of the two things that stand out to me. But very interesting. Workhorse has been bought by ARK Invest tremendously. They've, I think, almost doubled their positions in the last couple of months. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets. On these dates, the charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates, the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video, I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like, for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88, and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps. And it was down here at 33.02 and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates. And even on these dates, there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out. See for yourselves. And my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.